Okay guys, I'm literally moving to Beijing in like 6 hours. I don't have an apartment. I haven't started packing yet, but we're filming this video today because perhaps a very small amount of people haven't finished planning for 2021 yet, and I am most definitely procrastinating. So let's set up a bullet journal and plan for 2021 together, even though it is mid-January. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Evelyn, and I have lived all my life in an illusion that I am capable of managing my time by attending a Chinese high school, packing my college schedule with 18 credit hours, 12 hours of work in 5 club leadership positions, and after college working 70 hours a week as a tech consultant and crying my weekends away over the meaninglessness of formatting slides. That was until last year I had no work for an entire year and was responsible for my entire schedule. And guess what? I finally learned to set and manage realistic goals with the help of a bullet journal and a system called OKR. So let's just get started with the calendar page. Oh, I'm using the Sully Run 1981 bullet journal. I think the marble cover is really pretty, and the paper is actually very high quality and doesn't bleed through at all. My other supplies are Muji 0.38 gel pen, some pastel highlighters, pencil and erasers for marking, and whiteout for the mistakes I am inevitably going to make. Now, one could argue that this is a deeply useless page, but it's therapeutic to count how many bullets there are on the horizontal and vertical lines, calculate how many rolls each month would take, and agonize over that 1 month that has 6 weeks. And it makes for a deeply satisfying time lapse. You are welcome. So here's the entire year of 2021 at a glance. Looks like a good year so far. Please just be nice. On the next page, I'm putting a YouTube calendar to plan out my videos for the year because my goal spread will take up 2 pages, and being a professionalist like I am, I cannot bear it to not have it in one view. But my hope is actually that bullet journaling will help me be less of a perfectionist. This is arguably the most important part of my bullet journal. I didn't know until 2020 that I had no idea how to manage my time, because all my life it has just been all too easy to fill time with stuff to do, like school, work, which all created a sense of busyness that made me feel like I was doing something with my life. And I pretty much got into the habit of packing my schedule just because hustling felt good. And when I couldn't get something done, it was very convenient to just blame it on all the other things I had to do. But in 2020, I became solely responsible for all 24 hours of my day. Suddenly, I needed to have my own goals because easy reasons like to get a job or to make money no longer apply. And with no quote-unquote other things to blame, I had to face the reality that I was just not good at getting things done. So here is how I set up and track my goals with a system called OKR, Objectives and Key Results. The idea of OKR started in Silicon Valley, where the organization sets an objective for a year and then develops 3 to 5 trackable key results to work on, so that once the key results are achieved, the objective is met. It's just a simple method that helps you focus on things that really matter to your objective. I've been using a loosely fitted version of OKR for my personal life. The goal here is not to write a business plan for my life, which I have also tried, but like the majority of business plans, it just did not work out very well. The point of using OKR here is just to have a clear glance of what I want this year and easy pointers to what I should say yes or no to on a day-to-day basis. My overall objective for next year, not to be cliche, is just to have a little more love and happiness for myself. Growing up with an Asian mother, I have never felt the need to be kind to myself. But in 2020, I learned that if I can't give love and happiness to myself, I'm less capable of giving those same things to people I love. So in 2021, I'll ask myself a simple question whenever I can't decide what to do, and that is, what will make you happy? And more specifically, there are a few OKRs I want to focus on in 2021 to increase my happiness. I know it's kind of ironic how rigid and business-y OKR sounds, given that my goal this year is literally just to be nicer to myself. But trust me, these OKRs really come from a place of love, and they make life so much easier. My 5 OKRs for 2021 are career, well-being, relationships, finance, and learning. These are not random categories I picked picked up from some self-help book. For the past few months, I've been contemplating what I want to do, from big things like buying a house to small things like improving my handwriting. Whenever something comes to mind, I would just write it down on a post-it. Over time, career, well-being, relationships, finance, and learning are just the 5 categories all the post-its end up falling into. I think this bottom-up goal setting process is ultimately an act of kindness to myself, because for the longest time I have set goals as directives to push myself to do things I quote-unquote should do, even if I didn't want to do them. And I was so deeply conditioned by this need to discipline myself that I never bothered to ask why I should do those things that I make myself do. But once my goals come from things I actually want to do, I no longer feel the dread of forcing myself to do things and actually wake up every day just super excited to work. Never thought I'd live to see that day, I must say. I don't know if I'm making sense here, and maybe you're already deriving goals from what you want to do. But if you aren't already, I highly recommend giving it a try. You can just start with writing down what you want on post-its, and then your goals will just come into shape with time. My number 1 priority this year will be my career. It's an easy objective because I'm literally giving up the life I love in Chicago to start a new one in Beijing so that I can come back and do what I love. Instead of measurable numeric key results or KPIs, I just listed 3 to 5 things I need to do in order to achieve each objective, because I didn't want to be so hard on myself with numbers, and unlike a business objective, there's just so much less I can control in my life. I think we all learned that lesson more or less in 2020. Although I am prioritizing career, I want to make sure to take care of my mental and physical well-being. No matter how busy I get, I want to leave time for meditation and exercise every week, because these things genuinely made me happy in 2020. I even included a stretch goal of running a half marathon because it might be a nice way to get to know the city. In terms of relationships, one gift from 2020 is that I have grown a lot closer to my friends and family, and it'll continue to be a very important part of my life in 2021. I want to call my grandparents every week. They're the cutest. More importantly, I want to tell my parents more about my life, because living abroad for so long has made me close off to them, and last year I found out it's actually nice to talk to them about real things in my life and not just have small talks, and their advice is actually helpful, but don't tell them that. Oh, also, now that I've learned what the buttons on Tinder actually do, maybe it's time to use the tool. I'm genuinely scared of psychopaths and boring conversations though, so please drop any advice in the comments. Finance is also on the agenda for 2021 because I haven't been very thoughtful about personal finance so far, and this new job I'm taking will actually be a step back in salaries. I feel like this is a great case in point to never compare yourself to other people, because they might be getting their dream job, but they won't tell you about their pay cut. Oh, and lastly, I want to continue to learn and read books. These are things I genuinely enjoyed doing in 2020, and I want to make sure to continue enjoying them no matter how busy I get. By the way, there are only 30 books on my reading challenge this year. Still not a lot, but I think it's a stretch goal because there are going to be some long hours at work. I'm putting this little star next to goals that I think will be stretch goals, so I don't have to be hard on myself for not accomplishing them, but it's a nice push to accomplish things that I may not have thought I'd be able to do by putting these stretch goals on my OKR. So these are all my objectives and key results for 2021. I'm leaving half of this page blank intentionally for additional goals and revisions when I revisit these every quarter. The next spread is month at a glance, where I write out monthly calendars on top of the page and break down my annual OKRs into smaller tasks for each month, which will later be broken down into weeks. This way, not only will I not get carried away in the day-to-day and forget what I set out to achieve at the beginning of the year, the amazing thing is the OKRs themselves will just automatically be accomplished as long as I keep at this task each day and week. And of course, the tasks are color-coded corresponding to their OKRs. I don't anticipate using the monthly spread a lot. It'll just be a quick reminder for important days and deadlines, and I'm mostly doing it because I enjoy drawing straight lines freehand. The biggest takeaway I got out of practicing Chinese calligraphy as a kid is that I can do this and also draw eyeliners really straight. My weekly spreads are very simple. I've been using this all year and it has just worked out really well for me. At the top of the page are things to do this week, and then at the bottom are tasks for next week. The weekends will be roommates here because, well, they don't have a choice. Next, I'm transferring tasks from the month at a glance spread to the weekly spread, and also writing down other things I need to do that week. For each day, I write down important tasks with check boxes on the left and then errands on the right. So I know to focus on what actually matters and won't get carried away by a million small tasks. I don't really have any trackers in the bullet journal because I've gotten used to other handy tools already. Mood meter for tracking mood, Apple Health for sleep, Goodreads for reading, and my meditation app also has a tracker. When I occasionally do need other trackers, I would just write them down on a post-it and then put it on the wall because it's just easier to remember if I don't have to open a notebook in order to see the tracker. So that was my super simple 2021 bullet journal setup and goals. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful and worth potentially missing the train to Beijing for. Gosh, I really need to pack. Now that I'm moving, I'll continue to make reading vlogs, but there will also be living alone in Beijing vlogs, workday in my life vlogs. I'll be working as a project manager at a big tech company, so really excited for that. Also, there's gonna be an apartment makeover now that I'll go apartment hunting soon. If that's the type of content you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. I hope your 2021 is going well so far. I will see you in Beijing. Bye!